Well, alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. And in this video, we are going to go over the shop, talking about like prioritising what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy from this new event. Now, obviously a lot of you will have different priorities in the game, and what you go for will fully depend on you. I'm going to talk about this purely from a progression point of view, from basically what's going to help you most to push on content, get the best bang for your buck, and basically grow your account to score more, get more, and enjoy the game more, hopefully. Right? So, let's start at the top. This one is probably going to be quite divisive for people about what they want to do. People like to mark the fact that they have been in a game during a certain time period, okay? Now, this is the first event so far that the scene has not been part of the guild thing, the pass thing. You had to buy it in the previous events, right? That is what it is. Is that worth, honestly, you guys can decide yourself, is that worth 100 earrings? If your answer is yes, then by all means buy it. But that is going to seriously hamper what you can take away from this event, okay? So, you can get this, you can, definitely. Should you get that? I can't really say. I wouldn't, I'm not gonna, but if that's what you want to do, then forgo growth and get yourself the scene, right? Now that's out the way, let's talk about actual nuts and bolts. What is going to help you grow? So, what have we got? Well, as always, at the top, we've got Tier 2 and Tier 1 engraving stones. Then we've got our soul stones. We've got our gold and our silver soul boost stones. Is that what they're called? I call them that, right? Moving down, we've got our soul power. Is that what they call that? Soul cores, soul shards. You've got your factional tokens, your arcade tokens, your exchanges. I've never bought these, and I seem to have 9. Like, I used some today as well. I don't know where we get these from, but I seem to build them up anyway. I know we get them from weeklies, but we must get them other places because having 9 of them. You've got your factional exchanges to get, obviously, order. You've then got your faith gems, and then you've got your copies of units. You've got your breakstones, and you've got cash. So, what should you be buying, and what should you not be buying? Well, I'll tell you what you should not be buying right away. Any of these. Okay? In my opinion, you should not be buying any of these. These units are, over time, fairly easy to come by. You'll get them eventually. You can use things like your, if you really want to, your faction, your character selection summon, which doesn't actually cost that much more than a standard summon. Sure, you can only get that unit, but if you are targeting that unit for a specific reason, then it's worthwhile doing, you know? I mean, sure, you could do summons on the standard pool, and you might get lucky, and you might pull a Sagat, you might pull a Bison. The odds in that are super low though, and if you're only targeting 1 or 2 units, you are going to get more copies of Guile, who you've got at SSS 5, you're going to get more copies of Viper, who you've got at SSS 5, before you get maybe that Summer Yang that you're chasing, or that Street Poison that you're still chasing. You are probably better off just using the factional selection summon. So don't use these guys, honestly, just don't. In my opinion, it's a waste of your hoops, your earrings. Don't do it, right? So that is a definite do not buy, right? Another do not buy, I would say, kind of spoke about it there, would be these exchanges. Yeah, they're good to use actually if you need them, but just play the game, you'll get them. There's no need to do it, in my opinion anyway. Same thing for these two. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're basically taking away these tokens that will allow you to buy things that can guarantee your growth, to summon in the hope of maybe getting something that might make your team stronger. Weigh it up. Something that may help you get stronger versus something that will help you get stronger, right? So now that we have taken away things that won't help you, right? I mean, you could argue about these two, but I'm not going to lie, I've been in a pinch before where I've needed some of these and I've bought them from exchanges. So I'm not going to judge you if you do that. It's probably not the best use of your currency, however, right? The best use of your currency is really now going to come down to what you want. I, myself, personally, put these as a priority, right? I put these as a priority because even though these guys here, if you are late game, right? So if you're late game, if you are someone who has already done a lot of investment into your fighting spirits and stuff like that, you probably don't need those stones as much. Although I would argue that that's probably not the case, you always need those stones. Then these guys will do a lot for you, right? However, when it comes to your fighting souls or fighting spirit, I always confuse the two. These things tend to like either expand upon or unlock basically new passives, new abilities, right? Whereas these things more or less strengthen the ones that you've got, you know, which is here. It's not to be sniffed at, right? It's not to be sniffed at. But you can buy these every day. You can't buy these every day. And when you can buy them, they're fucking expensive, right? They're very, very expensive. So this is why I put a priority on this, okay? Now, these two things here, some people might kind of put a priority on them. I don't. The reason I don't is because you can pick these up quite a lot of the time in Shadlow City and the discounted shop and stuff like that. You get them from idling, you know. Sure, okay, you can argue that you get these from idling, but Jesus Christ, you do not get a lot of them from idling. I've got more of this stuff than I do this from events and stuff like that as well. I think for every player, honestly, I think this should be priority number one. Because even right now, if you say to yourself, oh, Hayzink, I don't really need them, I've not got that many SSS characters, right? I've not got that many SS characters, sorry. I guarantee you that when you start unlocking those SS characters, you are going to be starving for these. You will be absolutely starving for them, and you will be asking everywhere, Hayzink, or Discord people, where do I get these from? Where do I get these from? They never seem to show up. Well, this is where you get them. You can go into like the shops to buy them. Occasionally they appear here, but they're like 3,000 diamonds or something like that. You can get them from the city shop. They're not too bad in here. But depending on where you are in the game, you might want to save up for other things from here. Look at the price in the Honor shop. They are expensive, right? They are expensive to purchase. So in my opinion, the best place that you can get these things from is in here. And that is why I 100% put this as priority number one for every player. Unless you're a Giga Whale who does not need to worry about these, they are priority number one. If you are a Giga Whale, I mean, I could say that you could go for these, but let's be real. If you're a Giga Whale, you've bought them. They allow you to buy these every day, or something like that. You'll already have these, so for you, this shop is just like actually cherry on top of the cake for you, because you don't need anything, right? You just buy it anyway. But if you are someone who is absolutely desperate to, if you're free to play, take your Viper up to having different coloured stars, then knock yourself out. I know that some of you have experienced people who have upgraded their Viper, maybe now beating them when they don't think they should beat them. All I can say to you is, you need to remember something. You haven't upgraded your Viper. They have. So when the update comes out and you can do Bison and you can do stuff like that, you're sitting on all these soul shards. They're not. It's a very short term boost that they've gained, because they are going to add more characters to this soul boosting thing, and you don't need to just rush to do that unit because they're doing that unit. Yes, okay, maybe for the short term you'll feel a little bit behind them, but you know what? If they're the type of player who refuses to spend money in the game, if you've saved up your tokens when those bigger, better units get the system added to them, you are just going to accelerate past them. So sure, you could buy these, use them, buy them, save them up, whatever. Do it if that's the way you feel, but I still personally think that the most important thing that you can buy from this shop is these. Once you've cleared these guys out, then knock yourself out. Start going for these. But that would be my advice when it comes to this shop, and probably all shops to be honest, but things like the divination event and stuff can be a bit different, you know. If next time we get Sagat added for talking sake, I'm totally going to be taking Sagat, you know. But again, everybody's account varies on an account by account basis. You could argue that these Faith Gems are kind of worth going for. I personally feel that the amount you get is too low for what they cost, so I don't prioritise them. I prioritise this, and then after that I'll probably get the red ones, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's my advice. That's what I think you should buy from this shop event. Let me know what you'll be picking up in the comments down below. As always, I've been Hayzink, and guess what I'm going to say? I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.